signing up right now, where you're able to pull like $250 for your check each week.
Chime.
Not Chime. It's at One Work.
Yeah.
At One Work.
You're signing up right now.
It's the new app they got for Walmart.
Yeah. I got it.
So it's basically the
basically like cash it is, but you know.
So it's basically the Even app.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bi-weekly pay is stupid, or not bi-weekly. No, that's every other week. Right?
Yeah, bi-weekly. Bi-monthly. Yeah. I mean, the app is cool. I'd see the only thing about that is I always think of that like a payday advance loan.
Well, no, it's credit without the credit. The credit is entry your check.
Right. But see, the problem that I have with that is that once you start going down that hole and start pulling against your check early, you're going to start doing it every single time. And when that check actually comes, you're like, dog, I really don't have not much money.
I took $200 now. My check is like $100.
Because you're always
playing. It's supposed to be like 12 or 13.
You start playing catch up, and it's funny because when you talk about like financial literacy, like learning how to manage your money.
Now you know what I went through, so now I'm consistent. Now I'm good. Now since
right.
Right. But it was just when you know you need it, even though you should touch is there, and then
I mean, it is.
And then after that, you touch that, then you end up going back somewhere else, go to payday loan.
Right, and that's why I said
now it's
so
like
the even
you got that, and then now you still got to use some money to go pay this back now.
Yeah, the Even app and payday advance loans. The only difference between the two is that with the payday advance loan, you have to pay it back. But there's a super high penalty to do so. So you're paying it back, but you're paying like a 30 to 40 to 50%.
Say for instance, if you got a payday loan for like
$250,
you're paying $255, and then the interest is $300.
Well, you got to pay an extra $45 for nothing. Right? Whereas the Even app, you don't have to pay the interest per se. You just don't have it in your check. You're just getting it yanked out off rip. Now, like the thing is, you don't
borrow money from your check.
Right. The thing is, the concept is, a lot of these financial companies and Even app or the new app, whatever they named it to now, is no different than anybody else now. Is that what they want you to do? They want you to get behind because they want you to be reliant upon them to use their service. So you're always playing from behind.
Well, it's either that or the credit card. This is better than the credit card. At least that don't charge interest.
True, but at least with the credit card, there's ways to control that too. So one thing with credit card is, let's say you need an extra $100. But I was like, dog, I just want to have $100. I'm like halfway through the week, and I need $100 to make sure I get through the week. Cool. That's the reason why you have a credit card, not 2, not 3, not 10. You take on. The realistic thing is, the realistic thing is you should have probably 2. I'm gonna be honest with you. So you have one that I call a usable one. Yo, I need something on a week-to-week basis just to make sure I get through.
You know what?
But the secondary
I see you on that one because it's like, for example, like if you use one, say for instance, if you want to go get some, food or you need gas, that's one right there. You can build some.
That's a usable one.
Usable one.
But you just make sure that you whatever it is, you just let's say you can't pay off the whole thing, but you pay off the majority of it. Meaning that I used $100 this week. And I may not have $100 coming off the check that I can use, but maybe I have like 60 or 70. You put that 60 or 70 towards that credit. And towards that credit card. Why? Because you don't want that balance to be like, well, I used all my available credit, now I'm stuck. So you want to kind of utilize that credit. Now, in turn, you're building credit at the time, which I always say you need a usable one. So when you're building credit, that keeps your scores in the 600, 700, 800 range. But you keep a secondary credit card, where I'll call it the rainy day credit card. You don't look at it, you don't sneeze at it, you don't think about it. But if push comes to shove and I'm getting kicked out the house, something happened, whatever it may be, and there's a credit, I have something that I absolutely have to have, that I don't necessarily have to do an Even app or go to a payday loan, you go pull this is the pull string if necessary. But people got to understand what that pull string if necessary means. Pull string if necessary means not because you want a PlayStation 5, not because you need to get some jumps, not because you're trying to go to Vegas. That's not a pull string if necessary. A pull string if necessary is my car is broken down in the middle of the street, and I need to get that joint home or get it to a place where I need to pay $1,000 or $2,000 into. That's a pull string if necessary credit card.
Or your gallbladder's about to explode.
Something like that. Wow. Something like that. No, that's a real situation. Yo, I gotta go to the hospital and
I gotta
pay a major league medical bill.
Boom.
And a pull string if necessary. But see, people, when you're learning this young, you don't learn the financial literacy when it comes to it. People, all they'll tell you is get a credit card. But the problem is when you have a credit card that's just dangling in your pocket, you want to use it. And then you start using it on frivolous stuff.
Is that the new jumps?
No, yeah, the new jumps, cool. Oh yeah, the new MLB is coming out this week. We go cop that.
Oh, the new Jays.
The new Jays is coming. Man, I saw the little Figaro chain. I need a little shine in my life.
No, they're stupid. Like, hey, let's go to the movies because it's snacks too.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, that's
what I'm saying
there.
Is that people
right
don't.
There, on that topic, that's not too bad though. It's like if you you think about okay, I'm under my budget. If I'm finna go see a movie, even though you don't want to use that.
The joke.
No,
I get the joke.
No,
I get the joke. But what I'm saying is,
I know.
Like,
are you feeling guilty?
He is guilty.
Yeah, because I've done that.
He's guilty. He does it. That's why I'm trying to learn.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to teach this man some money talk.
No, I get the joke, but I'm just saying.
Guilty.
Figure of speech.
Where's the gavel?
But I hear what you're saying because sometimes, like for example, there was one time I knew bills was up to date, rent was good, car note, insurance, and everything like that. But I still didn't have enough to get me through the week. So I'm like, man, do I really want to do a pay or do I really want to, pull something up? But I know if I do one or the other, I'm gonna end up losing or end up paying something back.
Right.
So, okay. So I'm under my budget, my credit card. I really don't. Only thing I need to do is just make sure I got some food and gas to get me to the next check. Mm-hmm. Boom, there goes your credit card.
Right. So that's why I said you have like I said,
I filled up the tank $40, and then I spend I would say at least $80 on some food, just buying groceries.
Right. I got
just to get couple thing of new
I get it.
Get you through the week.
Now I get that part. Now here's the problem with that. That credit card bill doesn't go away just because you use a credit card. So you have to put in. So you got to think of that like a bill too. So you got to pay into it. Now maybe I don't have the whole 150 or so that I use to get to the week.
But
maybe I have 50 or 60.
Well, what's the minimum? What's the minimum? Like 25?
Yeah, but never pay the minimum.
Yeah,
the minimum gets you. The only thing the minimum does is you're paying against the minimum, which is probably $30. Or let's say $20. $10 of that 20 is going towards interest. The other 10 goes towards the principal.
But see, this is what I hate about when you put some money on your credit card. They still take a little percentage out. That's the thing I hate because it's like, okay, if I'm, say for instance, the minimum is 25, but I put at least 40 on it. They still take half of that with that 40, and you only putting.
So like
15.
So let me clarify what I just said.
Yeah.
$20. So you put $20 minimum towards.
No. So look.
So even though you put more.
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm saying is that you still gotta pay interest against that money, meaning that you're still gonna pay that little 10 or 12% interest against that credit card.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like, okay, so let me put it in different terms. So say for instance, like, okay, I put some money on my credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the minimum is 25, but I put 40. They still take damn near almost 15% of that. But It's like, how do they want you to build up your credit? Even you putting some money on.
So you're asking a very, very good question where a lot of people get in trouble. Allow me to teach you. Allow me to teach you today.
Because you ever see at the end of the day, you see your credit card bill be like,
yes,
okay, damn, I paid $50, but
it's still
after the date is over, when
you're still your principal.
The next 3 days over, they'll take half of what you paid.
Right. Yes.
And then it's like, okay, how am my credit going to go up?
No, it is. It's the price you pay for using the card.
Okay, yeah,
you understand that,
it's
right?
tax.
So,
it's literally tax.
So so it's basically they're to use my money. Like if I was to give you the money, to use my money, you hear it all the time. I need my money back with interest. So if I loaned you $20, yeah, I'm gonna need my money back. I'm gonna need my $20, but I need it with interest. So instead of you bringing me $20 when I say run me mine back, I need $30. That's what the credit cards do. I want you to put in those now. No. The reason why I say now, how do you offset that? Do what most people are starting to do now. You don't put as much on so you could pay off whatever that balance is immediately. So how do you go about doing that when you're saying, well, I'm struggling to make my bills match up? Mm-hmm. You have to go back in and really start looking at your financial lifestyle. What do I mean by what's your financial lifestyle? What is the bare minimum things that I need to get done? Car, food, gas, whatever that looks like for you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to literally break yours down.
No.
But I'm just saying, I mean, at some point I will do it off camera and I will literally break it down for you so you can see exactly what it is. I'm not going to do it on camera.
I got what you're saying on that.
But you break that down.
Because it's like, at the end of, what I'm saying, like the end of the month, after everything is all paid, even with the bill on top of that itself, I'm just saying, why do they always take a percentage?
Because that's the price you pay.
I know that. If you
was running bundles in the hood,
okay, that won't go there. But I get what you're saying though. So,
I'm like, come on.
So basically, what you're saying, if I'm going to do that, I need to put a little bit more.
Yes.
So they won't take.
Or you pay it off outright.
I got you.
So here's the thing: you don't get penalized if you pay it if you pay that whole balance in principal in a month. They don't charge you interest until after that month is over. So here's the lesson I want to teach
I'll
people.
Show you off camera.
No. Here's the lesson I want to teach you, like for the people on camera who's watching along. Y'all, first of all, before we continue, PVC Podcast, y'all know how we get down. Rock along with us. Thank you for all of our 108 subscribers who are rocking along with us. Salute. We're talking money right now. Anyway.
Hey, off 108.
Yeah.
I think you
Let me talk money right now. But here's how you control the money aspect. You don't get charged interest on any credit card until after the month is over. That's when they start charging interest. So what does that mean? So from the time that your bill cycle starts, so let's say your bill cycle starts on the 15th. You got from the 15th to the 15th to pay off that balance in full, or we're going to charge you a 25% interest or a 15% interest on top of the money that is still sitting in the account in its entirety.
So what you're saying is, say for instance, like you said, on that due date, the 15th, if I've already paid it in advance already, they
won't charge you. Okay. They won't charge you the interest. That's where people get wrong. So people, what they do is they wait for the bill to come, and then they pay it off. It's too late. Here's what you should do when you're managing your credit a little bit. One of the things that you should do is that when you have you get paid you get paid every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So if you used your credit card in that 2 weeks, one of the first things that you probably should be thinking about is, let me just pay this credit card, whatever that little $40 or $50 that I spent for the week already, let me just go ahead and pay that off on the credit card now. So I don't get clipped for another $10 to $15 against that $50 I spent. Mm-hmm. Because that's literally what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But most people don't think like that. They think that, well, if I pay just the $20 minimum against that $50, I should be fine. But that $20, like I said, only equates to, in real money, to pay off the principal of the money, it only equates to $10. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, because the other $10 is going towards the interest, the penalty that you pay for waiting. Yeah. So a lot of times, especially my mom is very good about this. She is one of those ones who will have a Macy's card, have a Target card or Walmart card, whatever it may be. And she'll use it because she wants the perks and benefits. Because when you have the Macy's card, oh, you get 40% off if you use your card. Cool. So she'll do that. Yeah. And so she'll slide her Macy's card, spend whatever money she's going to spend. And then she'll still be standing there and say, look, I'm going to pay this bill right now. So some people ask, well, why did you just pay cash? Or why didn't you just use your regular bank card in order to pay it? Because I wanted the perks to get the discount that Macy's was giving to me to utilize their card. But in turn, I'm not going to sit there and wait until the end of the month to pay it so I can get taxed against it. I'm going to pay for it right now because I had the money for it already.
I get what you're saying.
I'm just using the perks against it.
Because it's like for example, like Capital One, they'll say, okay, we'll give you half off for this just because you're using our card.
Yes.
Like Walmart, stuff like that. And then another thing, too, whatever places you spend at, on one of those, they'll put cash reward back on that.
Yes, exactly.
So that's one thing I do.
But the key is to get to that point, pay your stuff off so you can maximize that potential of what they're giving to you. See, the thing is, what these companies want you to do is to use the card, not think about it. Yeah, they want you to use the card, not think about it, and then the card just like building money, and so they want you to be in a hole.
Remember on the Flintstones when she tried to use the credit card? He said,
yeah,
took the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you said.
Because once you get to the point where you're past that month, all that extra money is free money for that company. That's how they get paid. Yeah. They don't get paid until the interest starts kicking in. Because all they do is give you the money. If you give it back to them, there's no money being made.
And see, another thing too.
Opposite of a payday loan.
And that's another thing too I think is kind of irrelevant too, because even they know this is around the time they'll make a whole lot of money because tax season.
No.
People. You don't think so?
No, it's just like they see the one thing about credit card companies, like everybody else, they understand the psychology of people. This is a people thing. This is not a
no. But what I'm saying is, don't you think they expect that though?
Yes. You want to know why they expect it? Because they expect people to get frivolous with their money.
So what I'm saying is, around this time, this tax season. Pretty much everybody, they know everybody got a little bit of piece of change and stuff like that. So they know. Okay, somebody's gonna have to pay something off right now because they know if they don't, they're gonna blow one thing off, and then it's like, man, now I don't have nothing to show what I just got. Now I have to go use this credit card.
It's just the opposite. So here's your tax season scenario. I like talking money.
Yeah, no, go for it.
So here's the thing why credit card companies love tax season. Because they know what people do with their tax money is they spend well beyond what they got in their tax return. So let's say you got on your tax return $500. The problem is, sorry, my bad, y'all. I forgot to turn this off. Sorry.
Who's at the door?
Yeah, I know. It ding dong. Hold on.
Who's at the door?
Well, we just ran up on this one. That's a different conversation. So they expect people to spend well beyond that $500 that they got in their tax return. And so what people do is, I got $500.
Time to buy a new TV.
So they'll go get a new TV, but that ain't the only thing that they buying. So they get the new TV. I was looking at these jumps. I couldn't afford it. Nobody got it for me for Christmas. I needed some J's. But let me go get them J's too with the TV. So now you in on the TV for like $4. You in for them J's for about $2, about $1. Let's say $200 for tax.
Okay.
Let's say $2 if you get some decent ones. But if you go to where I go get my J's. Them J's ain't $2. Them J's is about $4 or $5 because I'm getting some customs. So I'm gonna go in and get some I don't wear J's. But if I was to go do it, I'm getting some customs and it's gonna cost me something. And a lot of people do that stuff because because you said something that was super important. I want something to show for the tax money that I got. The problem is that in nowhere in that conversation did you say, I have a credit card bill that is $300, $400, You didn't say I'm gonna pay that off first.
That's the first thing I did. The
first thing people should do is pay off that credit card bill, and then use whatever the remaining is. Then you could go do something with that, or you sock that little $200 away in case something happens. You put that with your break string if necessary. But people don't think like that.
Because
people think
when I got mine, first thing I did, okay, I'll pay out one of my credit cards. Boom. Now, got a new spot. I know what I need for my spot. Let me buy this and buy that. Consistency. At least I knew what I spend my tax money.
Yes, but
the right way.
But
and I still got some.
So here's the question: did you overspend?
In a little bit.
Yeah. Now let's say you went over. Let's say you went over like $30, $50. Nobody's gonna jump off that. If you went over like a couple $100, then I'll have a little bit of a problem with that.
I want to get about $80.
Yeah, that's not terrible because here's the thing: you could probably overcome.
A couple sweaters.
Yeah, you could probably overcome that.
But majority of just
most people don't just overspend by like $20, $30, $50. They overspend by they spend double what they would spend from their tax return. That's how people's thinking are, because their thinking is, let me get a TV. Well, the kids need something because we got a TV. Maybe I should get a PlayStation 5 now. You went the whole for $5. You just paid PlayStation 5 for another $5. Now you in for a band, right? You in for a band. You only have $500 to begin with.
I wanted to so bad, but I'm like, you know what? No, it's not. Let me wait.
And the reason why I say this is because
I swear to God, I was finna go get my new
companies. Every single company that you deal with always play against the lack of discipline that people have, especially us in the United States, especially when it comes to like realistically the minority people. So when it comes to like us black folk and us brown folk and a lot of the minorities, who especially ones who have lesser than, they get happy because this is their time to shine. You know, when they get that little bit of money, whatever it may be, it's their time to shine. So remember, this
one came.
Let's go back.
It helped me when they got the rent, the first day of rent. I'm like, got it, rent.
Can we go back 3.5 years? So when we got the COVID checks, what was happening with the COVID checks?
Say it, Victor.
What was that? No. What was happening with the COVID checks?
Say it, Victor.
Y'all was getting all that. Y'all was getting all that money.
Say it, Victor.
I didn't get anything.
I know certain people didn't get anything. No. But what did most people were doing with that COVID money?
Oh, they weren't on shopping spree, man.
They were super duper shopping. No one thinks they should have had that money sitting in the tub. Did you see anybody save? You heard a few people saving money and like, I'm gonna keep this money in the tub. I ain't touching this money. Most people, they couldn't wait to like spend that money. Oh, it's free money
and the government, and the government know that.
And then they were wondering, what happened to my income tax?
No, the government did it on purpose because they knew
they're gonna make it right back.
No, the reason why they call it a stimulus is not the stimulus for people. It's the stimulus for the companies that they knew you were going to spend it on, because they knew your personalities would be. Now, I got free money. I'm gonna go spend it, and that immediately what happened.
Let me ask you a question on that one. What company was the highest on money spent on the stimulus?
Oh, as far as like spending money? Oh, you already know that. That's Walmart and Amazon. Because you want to know why? They were the only two that was in action. Now, there's some other companies who benefit off of it. What's the Fashion Nova got a huge bump because of it? Because women were so here's a kicker. So
you got money.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Right there, you just said it.
So
they know it. That's
the government knew. So they threw the money in there.
That's what I'm trying to get you.
It's basically the circle of money.
Because they knew. Okay, if we give these people these money, what's the one thing people always want? Like you said, TV, shoes, games.
But here's
you know. Like you said, Amazon made a lot.
Let me.
I got Madden for you.
Yes, that's what happened. But here's what happened in this. Here's what happened in this cycle of.
You're not because no.
So remember,
electronics was up.
TVs were up. Guess what wasn't available at the time?
Common sense.
No, and PS5s wasn't available.
You know what? You're not.
You couldn't get to them. You couldn't get to them. They were sitting on boats. The Xboxes were sitting on boats. They couldn't make them fast enough because they couldn't get people in the buildings to make the chips. No. But let me get someplace with that. So, the reason why the stimulus process didn't work as fluidly as it did in times past is because certain people got smarter with the money. So instead of spending the money on like TVs and stuff, you know what a lot of people did this go round and it kind of messed everything up?
Hoard it?
No, they didn't hoard it. They invested in it. They started throwing it towards stocks because when people were sitting down 3.5 years ago, people were sitting down. They didn't have nothing. They had that money sitting there and they didn't know what to do with it. So they started investing. They started throwing it into stocks. And that's when the stock market started getting flipped upside down because you had a lot of regular people injecting a buttload of money into the stock market. That's the reason why the Dow was super high at the time. But guess what? Now these people were getting financial literacy by default.
It's pretty bad design.
But some of them cashed out right before it happened, though.
No, some people did cash out. So here's when, remember, crypto was flying high. You heard about y'all remember the GameStop when they tried to purpose pop GameStop, balloon them up and pop them real quick?
It's bad design when you don't anticipate the average man using it, but they can.
Yes. But see, they were predicting against like the American tendencies. And when we kind of changed the tendencies a little bit, guess what happened? They had to adjust.
Now, let me ask you this question. You think they'll send another one?
No.
Not anymore.
You want to know why they're not going to send another one? Because it didn't work. Not everybody started throwing them in. A lot of people threw it into Walmart because we were open. And a lot of people threw it into like Amazon because they were available. But most other companies didn't get no benefit. The car industry didn't get no benefit from it. The clothing industry didn't get no benefit from it. You want to know why?
Local business didn't.
One of the local businesses, they got it toward the tail end, but at
not
the very
as they were hoping.
But the reason why they were in circulation is not them. You know who kind of benefit from it? Uber drivers got a big boost from it because you're paying them.
Also, you got to remember the only way.
Yeah,
because you're paying for because you couldn't. So the Uber drivers had to be the one to deliver all this stuff to you.
Yeah,
you also
when I was doing Lyft, they did. Yeah.
Oh, they were paying.
You got to remember too. The only way we're ever going to get another stimulus check is there needs to be a nationwide disease or something that
has to be a catastrophe.
Essentially, we need a Kung Flu 2 electric boogaloo to go down if we want to get that money.
Or what they've been trying to
Cameron get sick.
No, not that. No. It's not a sick. It doesn't have to be sick. Guess what they've been trying to.
He's already sick with it.
For the last year and a half, what's been happening? We've been messing with Russia, going overseas, fighting over stuff. Why? Because they're trying to hint at us trying to go to war. What happens when you go to war?
Money.
That means we got to throw our resources towards them. What happens if our resources go towards the war effort? That means that we have to find some sort of way to inject money into our economy to fund them. They will get a stimulus that way.
Well, the problem is America no longer has the right fighting spirit.
No, because we don't. There's a lot of things that we don't believe in just jumping into a fight just for the sake of jumping into a fight.
Well, no, because patriotism is at an all-time low.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff we just don't believe in our government because what we've come to find out is that our government, they've been really deceptive towards the American people. They've been really very money hungry, for lack of a better term. So all those things I talked to you about tendencies and stuff, you don't think that's been a government thing from jump?
Well, on top
of
that, of course.
Everything, y'all gotta understand, everything that you do in life, especially at this juncture in time, is studied, is monitored, is guided. And even when you do certain things, the big thing about social media, Facebook went through this years ago when they were first trying to get off the ground. Oh, well, you got access to your name and phone, the name and phone numbers and the people who you interact with, and all these people were interacting on this platform. Now it's information. So what did companies started doing? Started carrying your advertising algorithm towards what you were doing when you were tapped into Facebook or Instagram, whatever it may be. So if you were the one who would be like, well, I like to look up video games. If you pay attention to your advertising, all your advertising is Xbox this, PlayStation this, the new MLB The Show's coming out on Tuesday.
It's kind of a weird way to think of it. It's a weird way to think of it, but essentially, they send a man in a trench coat to open up his jacket. Hey, look what I got for you, man.
Right.
I got that Xbox.
Yes.
For you, man.
Yes. Exactly. You're not wrong. Exactly right. Now, here's the thing where it becomes a little bit tricky. Now, it's cool. Like, the government thinks it's cool when it's our companies doing it. So, if Amazon does it, it's alright. It stays at home, right? If Walmart does it, it's cool. It stays at home, right?
As long as it's in-house.
It's in-house. Now you got a big battle with TikTok. Why? Because now another company who we've been dealing with foreign companies for years has the same access of information that we do and has been using it to leverage against what the American people does.
But see, even with that, if they decided to go that route, they'll have to do it for all social media things. It's not.
No, they don't.
I mean, it's not.
No, because they're not foreign.
No, they don't.
I know that, but I'm just saying,
do you think now? This is a good question. Do you think that they would shut off Instagram and Facebook just because they shut off TikTok? Now, the reason why I say that is because keep in mind, Facebook is an American-born and bred company. Facebook, Amazon is an American-born and bred company. Snapchat is an American-born and bred company. These are all born in, one was born in New York. Well, actually, no. They were all born in Silicon Valley. Excuse me. Well, Facebook was born on the East Coast, but it kind of got moved.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
It was born on the East Coast and it got moved to the Silicon Valley.
No,
because they
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if they went that route.
No. Even if
I'm just thinking, what'd be hilarious is that once they get rid of her TikTok, they replace it with MySpace.
No, here's the thing.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. So when the government gets mad because now China has access to the information because it's a big information and money game. Okay. Because when you're fighting against people and countries and stuff, it's not always about tanks and guns and stuff.
No, not it's information.
A lot of it is information and money. If you can cripple the money, that's just as effective as going over and blowing somebody up.
That's true. But see, even with that, that's going to hurt a lot of people too because a lot of people make their money off of TikTok.
Agreed.
And then certain people advertise their business and stuff like that.
So let's say they take TikTok away. Guess who got their hands waiting? You don't think Zuckerberg is just saying, oh, I hope they get... Because all them people, they have to double back and go deal with Facebook and Instagram again. And Snapchat. And guess what they have? Don't think that there's not another company just waiting for TikTok to fall off. Just like they were waiting for... So when everybody was like, Facebook, remember, Instagram was not a Facebook company at first. They were on their own. But you know what Facebook did?
They combined.
No, they got them. They didn't combine.
They took them.
Zuckerberg said, "I want that."
Now, but don't you see? Now they have another.
They debowed.
Now you see, Instagram has.
Instagram
has another thing.
Exactly.
What's that new thing that Instagram has?
Oh, they got
It start with a T.
So they have so everything that TikTok does. It sits on Instagram. Y'all know that, right? Yeah. Every single function that you can do. Yeah. The only thing that you cannot do is that the pay scale is not on Instagram. The pay scale is on TikTok. That's why everybody uses TikTok is because it's a little bit easier of an interface and you can get paid for doing it. Instagram, you can't. But guess what happens if they take it away? Well, Facebook could say, or Zuckerberg could say, okay, we'll start paying the people to do it on our platform. And keep the money home. That's really what this conversation comes down to. It's a twofold conversation. Information, because when you give information to other countries that you're in war against, and they know how the people's citizens are.
But now, as you're starting to see, now if they do that, like Snapchat already starting to, like anything you post, you can promote it now.
Of course, everybody's starting to do it because they see when you see a company be super successful. you start to emulate it.
Now
Why do you think? Why do you think Instagram?
That's what killed me because now you see how Twitter just changed their whole.
Yes, you want to know?
It's not Twitter now. It's like it's X, but now you can do the premium. You can do
right.
You got to pay.
You want to know why?
Now they understood.
Because we are in a copycat league, ladies and gentlemen. So when one person is super successful at something, we copy it. So when
no, I was curious to see how many people downloaded it. It's over 1 billion.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to figure out is when they ban it, how low is that number going to go?
No, it stops.
It stops.
Meaning that you'll still have people there, but here's the problem: let's say the U.S. bans it, the number that you see there is not just a global number. That's just on our side. Now, so let's say those people who have TikTok and they say that, okay, TikTok's over. All that means is that you cannot upload, there's no new feeds, and people who want to upload it can't upload it. So 2 things to be true. 1, it does what a lot of things do. It will go dark. So it will go dark market. It will be like, basically, it won't be on the mainstream platform.
But China still keeps it.
Yeah, they're gonna still keep it because just because the U.S. doesn't use it, that doesn't mean that Europe ain't gonna. That doesn't mean Europe's gonna stop using it. That doesn't mean that Africa or Asia ain't gonna stop using it. Everybody else is gonna use it, but us. That doesn't mean South America ain't gonna use it. So you still have enough numbers. They need us, but they don't really need us to be super successful. But what happens is it does cut off a lot of jobs. It does cut off a lot of opportunities. So a lot of people who are in the social media space trying to jockey for position on TikTok in particular, guess what? A lot of that stuff can and most likely will go away. Which, like I said, it just shifts everything backwards to the 2 companies that they were trying to move from.
Are you insinuating that there'll be a black market for TikTok?
Yes, absolutely.
If it ain't already started.
Absolutely. You don't think it'll go that TikTok will go dark so fast, meaning that they'll go dark market, put it on the dark web, and you'll still have access. They'll still pump through it because people will always trying to find a way to get something that they already have. And keep in mind, TikTok is no different than any other strong company. It is hard, almost impossible to dethrone. Meaning that it's just like when you get companies that get super big, it's hard to clip them. Think of it like Apple. Do you think any company is really going to clip Apple anytime soon? No. You know how many companies have tried to, including other big companies? You don't think that Microsoft has tried to clip Apple for years?
That's a funny one because there was a time where Apple was going bankrupt. And then the U.S. government forced Microsoft to keep Apple alive because it would have been a monopoly if Microsoft was only around. Because it's still funny to think about. Apple was not doing well for a long while.
No, Apple was a hardware company. Microsoft's a software company, and because Apple was doing so bad, because Microsoft said, and they've been on this philosophy, we just want to get our software into as many places as possible. Microsoft don't make computers. They make software.
Yeah, they make the OS.
To use these computers. So that means that, but Apple, they have the software and the hardware. But before they got super popular, Microsoft had to bail them out.
Which is always funny because a lot of people don't know that.
Of course they don't.
It's not even obscure history. It's just
they're too young.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, no one knew what Apple was going to be. Apple for like the beginning of its life was a complete failure. To the point where, it had to be bailed out by its only competition.
Steve Jobs had the vision. He was, like I said, he was a genius in a lot of stuff. But it took him a long time to put a lot of things together. It took smart people like Steve Ballmer and some of these other smart hyper marketers to go in there and do things. And this is the same Steve Ballmer who runs the LA Clippers, a $4 billion man who runs the LA Clippers now. Don't get it wrong. It took people like him to jump on to get them on board to make sure that they were good. But this is why. But to go back to my original point, I'll get you in one sec. It will be hard because Apple has so much of an install base now and stuff. You will be super hard pressed to get them off the pedestal.
You said something that made a good point about if TikTok was to go to the dark and do that, like dark web stuff, like stuff. And they'll make more money on that because they know certain things that people can't get access to, they can put it at a price. Like, okay, if you want this, or you want to see this, but you can't see it nowhere else, but you want to see this, we got it. So now you pay this.
Because they know they know what you want already.
Yeah.
So think about. Sorry. Go.
Well, no, like on top of that, I would imagine the content wouldn't be the same either, considering there's no longer any restrictions.
No.
That's what I'm getting at.
So think about it. So if you already know what people want, and you just kind of do it in a bland variation, meaning that it's a very basic, but it's very, people think that TikTok is very outrageous now. Put it on the dark web. Now, here's the other thing that people don't think about. So, how would you be able to fund it if TikTok went dark? Because it's going to go. So if US bans it, it's going dark. But what I mean by going dark,
I'm quite sure they got some.
Oh no!
High tech some educated.
It's already there. I'll speed up the conversation.
On deck.
No. I'll speed up the conversation. What do you think crypto's there for?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
What do you think crypto's there for? You don't think that the people at crypto is sitting there waiting? Is sitting there waiting for something like this to happen, to have a major company have to go dark for a little bit?
Steve's brother just said this.
If they go dark, crypto is sitting there, and you got to run the money transactions through crypto.
I asked my boy.
Crypto numbers go through the roof.
I asked my boy Marcus. Shout out to Marcus. The one that told you he was in the service.
Yeah.
We was talking about this too. I said, what happens if something goes wrong with crypto? He said, crypto ain't going on. He said, trust me. He said, if anything goes with crypto, go pick it up. And he just said this to you. You just made the point.
Crypto picks up anything that has to go dark. Crypto picks it up. And now, if TikTok goes dark, so all the things that they already have in your search algorithm, just think about everything that it is. Think about it 10 times fold and a lot more egregious. What I mean by that is, so let's say your search history is cars. It's going to be a lot more. But let's say your search history is Asian girls. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a lot more of that, and it's going to be a lot more egregious. It's just like when porn had to go dark. And guess what happened when porn went dark? They brought it right back to the light. You want to know why? Because it got too egregious, too fast, and it was too accessible, and the government couldn't control it, so they had to bring it back out. So they had to put it in the face.
Yeah, the dark theme never went anywhere, though. I mean, once that it's still around today.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is that
it's very evil.
They almost had to make it.
It all is, but yeah.
They had to make it mainstream because they knew that they kept it in the dark. It was just the government couldn't have no hands on it.
They knew what made money.
No, porn makes more money than anything else on this planet.
That's what I'm saying. They knew what made money.
It's porn and social. It's porn, social media, and gaming. Those are three things that make the money in this world right now.
Don't forget tobacco and alcohol.
Tobacco and alcohol is like 6 and 7.
But it's there.
No, it is there. Yeah. It is there. But I'm telling you,
followed by guns.
Guns is probably fifth, depending on where you're at. Not in the U.S. per se, but it is.
In Arizona,
no.
At least all those are like in the top 10.
Yeah, but I'm saying that. But if you think about it, when things have to go dark, they had to get porn out of the dark because they had to make some money off of it.
Let me ask you this question:
I hate talking about that, but it's just the truth.
But it's the truth. So the crypto thing.
Yes.
If that did happen, how much you think people would invest right then and there on crypto? If crypto was,
people got crypto sitting, spinning, making zero money because they're waiting to figure out what to do with it. You put a company like a TikTok or somebody like that to go dark for even if they went dark for like a month. You don't think they're like, okay, we'll give you TikTok, but instead of TikTok being free per se, run us like 50 in crypto. People sitting on crypto waiting to move it.
Okay, so
you don't think they will move it over there and not care? They don't care about that. We as consumers, we always care about the things we care about. So in the social media, space, we care about getting our content.
Now here's the
question. It's just like with porn. It was the same conversation.
Now, here's the question for you. So we're talking about it moving to the black market.
If it does,
right. If it does, we'll leave it at 50-50, right? 50-50 chance it goes to the black market. And they do, and things go as you have said, and they want to bring it back. Perhaps not even calling it TikTok, but bring it back and like resurrecting a corpse in a way. But would they perhaps move it instead from the black market to more of the...
It goes gray.
Yeah, the gray market. It won't ever go back to its original position, but it's not going to be sitting completely in the dark.
Or it goes the way of LimeWire.
Oh,
so y'all remember? Y'all remember? Like y'all. So no, I'm just giving you examples. I'm giving you examples of how things went. Like how companies was super profitable or super moving went dark because LimeWire was dark, and then when it started to get traction, they had to change because you know what happened when they tried to when they saw people LimeWire. You know who got pissed off? Every single music exec. And then the movie company started feeling the effects. And here's what happened behind it. They had to go, the government had to go get them out of the dark. And they did get them out of the dark. And they said, look, you could be in existence, but you can't do this. And if you do this, you need to pay us this taxes, this money, this, or we putting you and your whole operation in jail.
I'm killing you and him.
And it's more I'm killing you and everybody who works for you and looks like you. They went power on some of these people. Y'all seen Power, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Big worm.
They went ghost on them.
But in all seriousness, yeah, you're right. People forget. Like in the mid, I want to say around 1998 to around 2010, music and movie theft was really, really bad, especially in that mid era of 2005 and 8, because it was so bad that there was ads on TV saying don't steal music and movies. Yeah, this is bad.
Why? No, but here's the thing. Why do you think we're digital now?
Oh, well, because that's what happened.
It's because they found a way. Some smart kids found a way to do it because the regular music companies and the regular movie industry didn't know what they were doing. And that person made they were making buku amounts of money running this server, and they were like, "Oh, I don't want no money. Y'all can just pass it free." And then they started people were just starting feeding them money. Well, since you're doing this, we'll feed you a little bit of bread, a little bit of bread, a little bit of bread. They weren't charging no money online. Why are you doing this for free? But the problem is that you had viruses and stuff, and this is when the viruses came into play.
Blue screens.
Yeah, and it was the blue screen stuff, and that's where the money started coming into play. Because that's what happens in the dark market. That's how they make their money. They lock up your stuff.
Now,
we'll free it up.
Now what would you call it if they had to change the name?
Oh, the TikTok?
Then they're not changing the name because the brand. Because the branding would always be there. LimeWire was sitting there for a long period of time. It just got overtaken when they brought them out of the darkness and into the light again. The allure got away because what they told them was, teach us what you know. We'll pay you a little bit of something, but teach us what you know.
And then they were never seen again.
And then they went away. But guess what came into existence? Netflix. Hulu, Spotify,
I didn't think
Zune. Zune was first, Zune was Zune. Some of these other companies. Don't think that Microsoft didn't know what was going on.
You know what's sad? Real quick.
They knew, and they just let it sit there for a minute until they figured out what they were doing. And then once they got them smart kids, when them kids from LimeWire went away, they had to go find a real job.
You know what's funny?
You don't think they didn't pay them $100,000 to go sit there in Microsoft Studios in Seattle, California, and say, "Look, teach us what you know." And they came up with Zoom.
It makes you want to wonder how... Well, real quick on that tidbit of Zoom. It's funny because not that long ago, I think the guy who made Zoom was talking about it. And he was like... It's like, yeah, you know Spotify? Yeah, it was Spotify before Spotify.
Yeah.
But it didn't take off.
Of course it did.
Because Microsoft has the tendency of doing things before people want it.
Soon. Right?
And then when Spotify came along, people were ready for it. And now look at it now.
Right.
It's always prevalent. Connect, the Xbox One.
No, but here's the funny thing is, you say that about Microsoft, so think about all the stuff that they had to fail on. So they tried Zoom, too soon. Connect, a little bit too soon. Xbox One, maybe a slight bit too soon. Guess what they pushed hard enough and they finally got it right.
So online gaming.
Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They actually got it right now. But, so they were still too soon. They were too soon, but they stuck with it.
Had a rough start.
No, but they stuck with it for the first time. When they stick with it, and they say, "No, I got something."
I got a question for you.
Yeah. On
that topic, why did Connect didn't work?
Because it was too soon.
Well,
no, because
elaborate.
Let me dial back. The Connect, for all intents and purposes, from a motion, hands-free point of view, did everything that you were supposed to do leading up to where 3D, like the Meta Quest and all that stuff is at now. It was the beginning stages of it. But they were too soon in the cycle, and people who were trying to get used to it, they were so used to playing on the Wii. The Wii was the hot thing that caught on, but Microsoft and Sony said, oh, we had something better than the Wii for years. We were just sitting on it because we didn't think y'all were ready. Now y'all want to play all that Nintendo stuff and y'all think y'all ready now? Let me show you the good. So Sony came out with the PlayStation Move. Exactly like the Wii, but a lot more functional, a lot better, and they were playing games like 2K, hooping, like literally, golfing, literally, so much better than what the Wii was. Microsoft said, look, oh, y'all like that? I got one better. I got cameras that will track your motion to the T. And guess what they do now? So that same technology that you see in Kinect is some of the features that you see when you go to like certain like clothing like boutiques and stuff. They'll use Kinect type cameras that will be able to move your body motions, put like a virtual dress on for the ladies, and see that, oh, this is what this dress looks like with me flowing and stuff. They got that idea from the Kinect. That's how deep that they went. So Microsoft said, look, we have the technology. We'll sell certain companies the software in order to utilize it. And that's what they did. And they got off of it. The reason why it wasn't successful because gamers wasn't ready for it at the time. They liked the Wii because it was simple and it was first. If Microsoft would have put the Kinect out first, the Wii wouldn't have been. But here's the thing. We needed the Wii to be so they could get this out, so the Wii can mess up and do the Wii U and get us to the Switch.
Now we've been talking a lot about this. Has been a very technological.
I've been kind of like we kind of ripped through a little bit. Go ahead.
The interesting thing is that I don't think it's hard to see and even agree that we have gone a bit too hard into tech, a little too tech heavy society. I do think it would be just beneficial for a lot of people if it's all toned back a bit, right? Especially in the terms of, I'm not talking about in practical business terms. I see the benefits of it, but more in the social terms and more in the of interaction terms, right? Social media, there's way too many of them. It's way too prevalent and it's way too idolized. I mean, sadly, for a lot of people, social media is their god, right? They worship that thing. They may not say that and they may not proclaim that, but that's what they do. Because what do you call it when you spend awful amounts of time on it? It's all you do. It's all you talk about. It's all you think about. It's worship, right? And I do think that we could benefit greatly from just the loss of a few of these social media platforms, or at least a revamping of it, because it's not a necessity to society. Now, I know what you guys said. It's like, well, some people built their businesses off it and whatnot. That's just a bad idea off rip. Because, especially if you're not spreading out. If it's like all your eggs in one basket, whoa, why are you surprised they all broke when you dropped the basket? I mean, that's also a reason why you want to spread out. It's just one of those things, too. It's like anything online is fickle, right? Like, there's no guarantee it will succeed. There's no guarantee it will even remain. So, it's always more better to invest in a physical world, right? Physical assets, not digital assets, right? I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, owning... we were just talking about video games, prime example. That's why it's always better to own a physical copy of a game versus owning it digitally.
But right? That's going away.
But but my point being is physical will always be better than digital no matter what they say. Now, I think we can agree on that, but the problem is people don't care anymore about that because the amount of convenience that is offered all through digital is just unsurpassed by anything physical. From the touch of your fingers on your phone, you can access quite literally everything, right? And I do mean everything. People tend to forget, your phone is not just for games, TikTok, or YouTube, or whatever. You have access to literally everything on this thing.
No, it's
human knowledge.
It's a virtual computer. But you made a very good point.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna backtrack it, but I like the point a lot. You said that we are too invested into tech from a social standpoint, meaning that TikTok, social media. We're a lot invested in that regard, and that part is kind of like a gift and a curse. But I know why it exists, and I know that it's too hard to unwind it now. It's because we went through basically 2 generations where tech and social is all people know now. All these kids know is TikTok and Snapchat. That's all they know. Before, it was, when our generation, when Facebook first came out, when Instagram first came out, we were utilizing it, but it took us a minute to get there. We wasn't so heavily invested into it. But now you're to the point where everything runs into the I need to be seen. It goes to the I want to be famous and I want to be paid. You know, the song goes, E40 said it best. You need to pay me or pay me no attention. But the reason why I say that is because people want to be seen. They want to be like, hey, I want to be seen. I want to be seen. I want to be seen. But I want to be paid to be seen because, again, social media was created with both of those things in mind. They say, oh, I want to be famous. Go ahead, man. And then I want to be like, oh, well, I can get paid for being famous. You know who was the first person to do that? Kim Kardashian. She made she was the first one who basically championed this.
Here's my thing. And you made another interesting point too about how, social media get used for business and like that.
But that's what
it won't never
used it for business.
It'll never go away, and I hate to admit this because it's like a lot of people make money off of drama and stuff. Especially you see the news people or the drama people who works at the galleries and stuff, or news point and stuff like that. You don't think they make if half of that stuff off social media goes away? You don't think it won't hurt them?
No. The thing is, the social media makes every business do their things too easy. So remember back in the day when we used to get news. You know what it took to get a news feed back in the day? You had to see you'll be like crazy. So when you're a kid, you be like, oh, something's happened in the neighborhood. We have the Channel 7 news van sitting out here, and then you get a chance to see. Then you get a chance to see the OG with the big old boom camera, and then you see old lady or one of the people talking on the thing and reporting the news. You still got it, but here's the thing where it's easier now. A lot of times, these news people don't have to hit all these different venues because we, on our social media feeds, here's what's happening in real time. People are mobbing Knott's Berry Farm because the kids are going into a fight and stuff. The news people didn't have to get all to that. The social media gave them all that story.
It's really interesting to think about the rise of, let's just talk to TV for a second. So the rise of television, that's where a lot of this started, right? The rise of television was a very, very interesting point in American history because TVs, for the most part, for most of their existence, they were pretty expensive. It's only been a very recent thing to where they're as cheap as they are, right? But it's funny to think about because there was a point in time where, if there's international news or something, people, a lot of people didn't own TVs. They would either hear it through the radio, or they would watch it on display TVs at stores. Right, because those TVs were actually just playing actual channels. Yep. They weren't like the ones we have now where they're just playing a movie or a commercial. No, it was playing actual news, and people would watch that. People used to gather around these things. Yep. And it's just interesting to think about because that's how the radio was too, before the TV came around. Radios were expensive and very few people had them. Obviously, stores that were selling them were playing whatever the radio was playing, and people would gather to listen to that. And it's just such an interesting viewpoint of technological progress in the entertainment sector of America, because at one point or another, every older generation, when these things first came out, always viewed them as a waste of time, right? So the older generation that was alive and kicking when the radio first came out, they didn't like the radio because, all these youths are going to do is sit down and listen to this radio, right? It's going to be a waste of time. Same thing with the TV, and then with video games, and then with Yoshi. It's always been a topic of that, but we're reaching a generation now where that's no longer said or thought, right? Sure, there's older people who still think that because they didn't grow up with this, but those who are growing up with this aren't going to have that thought of whatever new thing comes out next. They're not going to be like, oh, that's a waste of time. They're going to think, no, I got to get in that. I got to be a part of that.
Well, because that's the difference in thinking. Because I think it was once you got past a certain generational point where it became like, oh, it wasn't about just listening to the music or just playing the video game or just watching TV. It was, I want to be in film. I want to rap. That's why everybody swear that they're a rapper.
You ain't lying.
Or I want to get into video games in some sort of fashion or another.
And the real kicker, the real changer to all this was the internet.
Yes.
That was the big game changer.
Yeah, it was the bridge. It bridged everything together. So
quite literally.
Because it bridged all those avenues together, and it also bridged the people together. And so that's why I said I'm not completely like one of those, I hate social media like that. No, I'm not that, because there was a lot of good things that came out of it. I think the only problem I have with social media now is that we are too reliant upon it, and we will sacrifice physical interaction for social media interaction. Meaning that I was just out and I was seeing people, like, you see people on dates, you see people like, I'm at Red Robin chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, they're just like this.
I'm old school. I'm with the missus, I'm with the missus, and I don't.
I don't. I do that all the time.
No, I do. The first thing I do,
I check in.
No, I'm cool to check in, take a quick picture with your girl, whatever. Cool.
At church.
Here's what happens thereafter. I put my phone down.
Face down.
Yes. Why? Because the person who I'm with gets my undivided attention. So, we in the podcast right now.
What did we just say?
Yeah, exactly. You do exactly what I'm talking about right now. Perfect example of your trash. Perfect example of your trash. You can't even get your undivided like that.
It's silence. I'm like,
it's our anniversary.
That's why I'm trying to teach this man something. This is why this man dates don't be going well. Just kidding. No, but the reason why I say that's super important, because when you see dates now, here's where TikTok kind of exposed a lot of bad habits. No, it doesn't go to no. No, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
You got people to the point where it's so annoying where they're trying to film the date. Mm-hmm. This is where you start hearing about the Cheesecake Factory girl and all this stuff, because you're trying to film the date.
Wow.
You're so
like this girl.
You're so
getting lit with her on the boat.
You're so involved in trying to get everybody else involved with your situation, and not the person who you're supposed to trying to interact with. Mm-hmm. You're rolling loud with this weekend. All you saw, cameras. Everybody's trying to show everybody else and capture it, versus be in the moment. Enjoy Nikki doing her show. Enjoy Future and Metro Boomin doing her show. And again, I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying that if you're going to be in that environment, enjoy the show.
Well, another thing, this has been happening for a long while. It's just reaching the zenith of it being a problem. But this has always been a thing for a while. Like, even when cell phones started coming out with cameras on them, right? Even when flip phone cameras,
yes,
right? It was still always a thing where people started taking pictures of everything they were doing. Now, granted, social media wasn't as prevalent yet, so they just had a horde of pictures. But still, it's been a problem for a while where people were taking pictures of the event instead of remembering the event, right? Because most people who take pictures of stuff most likely aren't going to go back and look at them and remember what happened. All they see is the picture. They don't even remember really what happened there, right? Which is the problem, because they were just too busy trying to capture the moment instead of living the actual moment.
Right, and that's the problem that you have. I'm not saying that you can't take videos from time to time, or can't take pictures from time to time, but dog, that can't be your whole purpose of being there, just a film. Especially, like I said, I see this on dates all the time, and it gets annoying, especially young people. They'll be sitting there across from each other, and I literally seen them texting to each other. They're literally the space between us three. That's like literally within the table. Has to catch up. Do you want another drink or not? Literally texting it.
Now,
not saying a word.
Unless they're mute, but yeah.
No, they're just so involved that they're texting all their friends. how's the day? No, the phrase asking, how's the day going?
He can't.
Ask me after. I'll pull up to your house after. But it's.
He ain't looking so good.
Yeah, but see, they want to do it in the moment.
Man, I'm bored.
Versus.
Man, I'm about to fall asleep on
He only bought me 2 mimosas.
But you never know. But see, when you don't interact, of course it's going to be boring if you're not putting out the effort to actually start to interact.
Now here's the thing.
That's a different conversation. We ain't even going there.
No, that's the next episode. But it's just interesting to see this loss of. We're living in a day and age where humanity is its most quote unquote social, yet antisocial. Right. It goes back to what I said a minute ago. We've invested too much into tech and not enough into the physical space itself of just interacting with people. Now, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's still plenty of people who you can actually meet and talk to, but the problem is that scene is weird, right? It's seen as strange for most people to just talk to a stranger.
Certain people can't have a regular conversation about something going on.
No, because
they can't get caught up in a conversation where they can't understand the outcome.
Because you want to know why they can't have a conversation? Because they're so used to being behind the camera, trolling and talking and being reckless behind the camera. When they get in front of a person in real life, now they don't know how to act.
You talking me?
I ain't talking.
You know, man.
What I'm talking about is that. You know.
I ain't got nothing to say.
No, what I'm saying is that.
I'm just using.
I'm just saying that. Yeah. So these will be the same kids who be playing Call of Duty, running their mouth. F this, you can't do this, yada yada yada. But when they
don't forget the racism.
No, yeah. But when they get into the real world,
it's part of the culture.
But when they get so, an 8-year-old does that. They'll sit up there and get into a classroom situation, start running their mouth a little bit, and then another kid put the mink on them like that. Guess what happens? Then their parents want to go up there and defend him. Why did he get hit? Because he was running his mouth like he was doing on the video game. But parents don't want to hear all that stuff. They don't want to hear that their kid got mink from running their mouth.
Why did your kid learn all these slurs?
Where did they learn all this? Where did they learn all this? Playing video games, playing Call of Duty. No, that's okay. What? Yeah, that too. Listen to their mama cussing. My mom. That's the thing. That's always the thing. And mom's like, don't be. That's where the
like Kevin Hart said when he said his mama.
That's what I'm saying.
You went back to the school.
Don't do that.
My mama said, "Mind your mother."
But the problem is that it's so involved. Is that social media has gotten so far, but you're not wrong. The tech has gotten us to be separate, and tech has gotten us to be separate so far. Is that our shopping?
Because what you just said.
Yeah, what we've been talking about with Walmart.
That's what I'm getting at.
Everything's a separation. So everything that everybody does is separate. They want you to be separate. When you're shopping, guess what do you think they really want you to do? They don't want you to interact with people and stuff. They want you to get in and get out. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, most companies don't even want you to pull up because they're so afraid of you being inside of their store because they know that you've been reckless on social media. So they don't even want you up in there anymore. So know what they want you to do? Go order your stuff from online like you've been doing. We'll bring it out to your house. We don't even want to see you anymore. We just want your money. Before, companies wanted you to come in, hide, interact, talk, get involved, make lifelong friends, lifelong customers, build the camaraderie. Now it's I don't even want to talk to you.
You know what's so funny, especially at grocery store, you used to see them little workers used to be passing out them little sticks with little sandwiches and stuff.
Costco still does that.
They still do that. There's still companies who are still have that philosophy because they're
my brother. Oh, you know what? Let me get a piece.
Right, but here's the thing. No. Here's the thing behind that.
You'll be back.
Because
I'm using an example.
No, so you'll go the perfect example. So you walk into your Sam's Club or Costco. You walk by that dude or that young lady, and you be like, "Hey, can I try that little ice cream cup that you have?" Oh, that's kind of cool. So the girl be like...
Turns out they don't work there.
No, they may not. No, they may not. They may be... Hey. No, you ain't wrong. They may be... Hey, you ain't wrong. They may be a vendor from Dairy Queen or whatnot. They may not be an actual...
You see the manager... Hey, get out!
That'd be so good. They have their own...
They pick up the table and run.
Damn, that hurt. Hey, get out of here.
They had their whole little hookup, whipper tacos, you know. No.
I got that cheese bread.
That'd be so funny.
That reminds me of Bad Santa when he was behind the bar. Hey, what are you doing behind my bar?
Oh, no, I just realized something. I just realized something. Talking about that. Girl Scouts, dude, they like to set up at these stores.
Yes. So Girl Scouts are posted up at the front of the store, right?
Yeah.
But see, the one thing Girl Scouts is a perfect example. They're old school. So they'll pull up at the front of the store. They'll get you to buy stuff, but they interact. They have the kids there. They're all interacting.
But now they overdo it now. It just
I know they.
Girl Scouts and you got people.
It's just little kid.
Got some people got.
No, because
Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, the problem is that you got so many other people who ain't be about nothing.
Did you vote?
Yeah, you got too many people in front of the store, so it gets annoying. So you shut out all that stuff.
You got DirecTV? No, I got. Well, if you switch to DirecTV.
Right. Oh. So it's too invasive now. Yeah, but the concept of what the Girl Scouts do is right. They have the kids there. You interact with them. Hey, how's your Girl Scout troop doing? So you start talking with them and interacting. So you may just buy a box of cookies one time. Not in no pedophile stuff either, fool.
I'm thinking about the
Is that your mom?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes trying to date, sometimes date their mamas.
No.
Tell her I said
that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the
Does she come with the mint things?
The Girl Scouts. The troops.
When he said that the mama come with some Thin Mints.
No, I'm thinking about the Girl Scout warriors. What you doing about that?
Wait. I got $5. Can I get a box of Thin Mints and your mama's number? Wait a minute.
And then you got the other Girl Scouts cookie girls on the other side of town. They come.
Do you have a daddy?
They come
like
to the
one?
block. I didn't see Girl Scout cookie girls get into some fights. What you doing on my turf? So we sell our cookies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the Girl Scout
cookies.
So the Girl Scout cookies be acting like
the cops.
They Girl Scouts be acting like they try to push plugs and stuff right now. Like, this is my block. You can't be on my block.
And they get
that's my store. So you got Girl Scouts fighting.
Then you gotta break it up.
When did Girl Scouts start carrying switchblades?
They be
What movie was that? I think that was Melissa McCarthy.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be.
Yeah, Melissa McCarthy did a movie like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I would actually buy 2 boxes if I saw like a Girl Scout playing with a butterfly knife.
Nah, I couldn't
like,
do
you want some cookies?
Nah, I'm good.
That was like dodgeball.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. But anyway.
There better be some bomb cookies.
Anyway, hopefully, team, and y'all been listening along to all the antics.
We're not saying to go out there with some Girl Scouts.
And I ain't trying to say go after these Girl Scouts moms. I ain't trying to get you beat up either. Don't be asking, can I get 2 boxes and a phone number either. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that.
Mike, hey, how old is your mom? And they're like, no, it is like
that. I know some people who like that.
What?
That's why
put my plate down.
So you have the little girls there, right? But you see the mamas in the background parading and stuff, right?
Is that your daddy?
I can't help y'all. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing
this conversation, fellas, kind of went all over the place, but
anyway,
it's been good.
But for all the people who did watch the log, I hope
Victor said your girls, the moms. Wow, Victor.
Hey, that's hilarious, boy. That's hilarious.
But hey, they need a dad.
Need a dad. The mom is more concerned. They got the daddy.
Are you my daddy?
First of all, don't go there.
He's stupid.
I need you to do it. Anyway, tell your mama Christmas came early.
Anyway, hopefully y'all learned something today. We tried to give y'all a little something, try to give you some financial literacy today. We tried to give you a conversation about milk and cookies, Try to give you some awesome text.
Oh no, they go like old school with Will Ferrell. You say anything about this, I'll kill you. We're just playing what happened back in the hour.
But hopefully y'all learned something. I know this has been like one of those we've been running the snake of ideas, but it's one of the things we really want to kind of address though, because one thing as far as like tech and stuff is super important to really understand, and tech, it's fooling his mom. One thing I understand with tech is that tech is always changing. always try to interact with people as much as you can. I understand tech's important, but don't always get so engrossed in tech that it's your life and everything revolves around it.
If you're not able to drop it, you got to do some self-reflection.
Exactly. And the other thing is, like we talked about in the beginning of the episode, when y'all jumped on early, hopefully y'all jumped on at the very beginning, where we were talking about money and financial literacy. We try to give y'all a little tidbit in that. Hopefully those tips kind of help you into like getting your credit together, building your credit. If y'all want more questions or ideas about that, definitely shoot it in the comments below. We'll definitely be more than willing to answer those questions as well. Outside of that, before we get up out of here, because we do got to kind of get situated, I got to get these boys rested so they get ready for work tonight. First of all, shout out to Dirty Freaking Joe, of course, man. He got 2 awards. He went to the Las Vegas show.
Oh, boy, Joe.
Brought home 2 awards. He was the only artist to bring home 2 awards. I'm glad you're bringing them home. Hopefully, when you get a chance to sit back down with us soon, you get the chance to show those to us. Show what you've been working on. So we definitely appreciate your hard work and your grind and stuff. And you got the support of the PVC Podcast crew. Congratulations on behalf of all of us. Good work. Hey, Jason Lane, we'll see you soon. Don't worry about that. We got you in the tuck. We'll see you soon. I know you got some projects you're working on as well. Outside of that, shout outs to all the people who's been rocking along with us, all the subscribers and stuff. And if you're a new person, if you've been watching along all the way this far through and you ain't hit the like or the subscribe button, we definitely appreciate y'all if y'all did that. But hopefully you like what we've been putting down. We give y'all a little bit of everything on this podcast. This is 74.
Okay.
74. We ain't got 75 yet. 75, I gotta talk about my age. I was born in 1975, so I gotta talk about the age. And
that's a good episode we talk about. What's the relevant from the 70s?
Yeah, we may get there.
87.
87, I'm 98.
Yeah, so we can.
So that's it. That's an idea. 75, we talk about our birthdays and our life experience.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll do that on the next episode when we sit there and touch down. But
the time will look like
make sure to tune in. We're gonna make Cam spill his guts.
Yeah, you won't be the first person.
Tell us everything, Cameron.
But
take off the glasses.
Yeah, when I get here, you know what that means. But anyway, it's been a privilege and an honor to do this with y'all always. Fellas, y'all got any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Yeah, is it true you had an eraser top?
Wow.
Yes, that's a fact. But we'll talk about that.
You got any pictures?
I think
yes, I do.
You don't have to bring pictures.
Yes, I had the kid that played box top fade back in the day. Anybody who know me in junior high and high school, they know I had the kid that play.
What kind of kicks you wore back in the day?
We'll talk about that on the next.
Did you ever own any air pumps?
Here's what I do on the next. No, hold all those questions. Here's what I do on the next episode. I will let the boys ask me any and every question that they will want to answer. No, you can't. No, I will let y'all do that. We'll do it for the 75.
Actually, no. I encourage you, leave comments on what you want to ask Cameron. Anything.
Ask him. I don't care what it is.
Ask.
I don't care what it is. Y'all want to ask about me. Y'all want to ask about what I like, what I don't like. Y'all want to ask about money.
That's the kicker. No. That's the kicker. That's the kicker for these episodes we're going to do. 75, 87, 98.
Ask the question. No. Ask me the question. Because here's the thing. I'm not afraid to answer the questions. So if y'all want to... No, I ain't afraid. Ask the questions. If y'all have any questions, we'll do that on the next episode. We'll probably run that sometime next week. Ask me the questions, and I will definitely answer them. Y'all can ask me anything about anything. Relationship, music, my likes and dislikes, how I was raised, how I grew up, what was it like being in a single parent household, for a good portion of it. How was it like to be married? Ask all those questions.
What were you when Curtis Blow disappeared?
Curtis Blow didn't really disappear, but we could ask. I could talk about those 80s questions that y'all wasn't around for. I'll answer all those questions for you.
How did your household handle Rodney King?
Wow. Oh. That's a good one. I can tell you.
Tune in next time.
No, tune in next time. We'll give you that answer. That's a very good question. Hold that question. I can tell you how that happened.
If we going that.
No, we can have that question. No, that's what I'm saying. We can. Any question y'all can think of. How do we handle the LA riots? I will give you a brief preview. My grandmother, before she passed away, was living in Lamar Park.
92?
Yes, she was living in Lamar. She was living in Lamar Park when the riots were happening.
So she saw that, man.
So like I said, I prefaced that with this, And we may jump right into the next episode for next week.
So
make sure to tune in, people.
Yes. So that's what I say. It's a very good question. Hang on to it. We'll get there. Anyway, besides that, fellas, y'all got some final thoughts before y'all get up out of here?
No, it's just good to start the week on the right note here with the boys at PVC Podcast crew. Me and Paul got to be hitting the work tonight. Cam's going to be going to work in a bit. But honestly, praise the Lord for honest work, for a paycheck that we can earn, not steal. And just for the grace of this day, my brother.
Hey, and stop stealing stuff in these retail stores. Let me say that. Let me go ahead. Let me not go there. We may talk about that too.
We got to go back to beating people up.
Stop trying to run into these stores. Stop trying to steal some stuff.
That's a fact.
And don't be Bruno Mars with a $50 million gambling debt.
Working my best, man.
Anyway, go ahead.
For me, I'll just say be more consistent and be more aware of your time, of everything you do. Life is too short, as I always say. So enjoy the quality of it while you still can, because I know a lot of people at this day and age, they go through some rough times and they look back and it's like, man, if I had a little bit more time to get to know either this person or get to do this thing, who knows where my life would be in 10 years from now. So just be consistent and keep counting your blessings and keep improving your intelligence.
Cool. I'm going to start off with this. Anybody in the chat who could figure out what my favorite candy was in junior high or high school for the next episode, because we're going to talk about a little bit about me.
I got it.
If y'all figure out what that is,
I can tell.
I'm gonna put something up. I will give it to y'all directly. I'll either mail it to you or give it to you directly. Figure it out. Anyway, outside of that, like I said before, thank you for every single one of y'all who's been rocking along with us, of course.
What would you do for a club night, boy? Nah, that ain't.
Even though your boy eats all ice cream.
No, man.
That's a different thing.
No, you don't care about that.
That could be
it's $100,000.
No, that could be a thing. Like, why do I always eat ice cream and stuff? Y'all can ask all those questions.
He's a look at 3 months. Cheers,
Here we go.
But we're not going.
I'm gonna let the chat get into it. I'm gonna let the chat get into it.
Chocolate insides. Huh?
Anyway, y'all know who we be, man.
He was on the Bart Simpson episode.
Nah, I wasn't on that one. Don't lay a finger on my butterfinger. Nah.
See, it's a trick question. Turns out it's M&M's.
That's funny. That's funny. I'll let y'all know.
I can't ever find the purple ones.
Don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. Anyway, y'all know who we be, man. For my man Paul, for my man Vic, my name is Cam, a.k.a. Mr. Nerdboy Fresh.
Freaky! We
y'all
didn't
know
forget.
how we do. It is God above everything. Shout out to all of y'all, of course. Like always, family, we will do this the next time. Until that point in time, we'll see y'all again soon.
Much love and respect.
Salute.